So if you're under the age of 25 and you want to be rich someday, here is exactly what you should be doing. Get yourself a credit card when you turn 18. This is a good one.
Wait a minute. First step to becoming wealthy is go get a credit card?
Let's see where it goes. Hold on, let's see where it goes.
If you pay off the credit card on time, it's going to help you build your credit score, which you need to buy a house or take out any loans. Next, read these books. They will change your mindset and help you pay off the credit card on time. It's going to help you build your credit score, which you need to buy a house or take out any loans.
Ooh. Okay, well,
Next, read these books. They will change your mindset and help you build your wealth. Also, start investing $250 every single month
I'm digging it a little bit.
This will be over $1 million when you retire. I also post more tips on my YouTube channel.
Oh, I love it.
My video. Go first. I'm gonna do the first reaction to this because again, it's my video. We're not in your video no more. So essentially, from the credit aspect, so she said pay off your credit card each month to then it can help you to get a car, to help you buy a house. She's kind of right. Don't want to say she's completely wrong. So I was like, it's good basic information for her to say because again, that builds payment history for you to be able to make those payments on your loan, which for FICO that counts for 35% of your credit score is your payment history. And then for Vantage, which covers TransUnion and Equifax, that counts for 41% of your credit score. So that's definitely good advice there. But the thing is that you need, depending on the lenders, you need more than just a credit card to be able to approve for traditional mortgage financing. I think off the top of my head is between like having two to three accounts on your credit for it to be considered stable credit essentially. Yeah, I was like, no, that's definitely right because when I was underwriting for a bank, anybody that didn't have like two accounts were considered limited credit, so they were more risky. So yeah, so you need to at least have 2 to 3 accounts reporting at least for you can get away with a year, but 2 is the best because again, when we're underwriting your loan application, we're able to see 2 years. So if we see a year, we still know you're new, but then when you have 2 years, that shows that definitely shows stability as opposed to 1 year. So obviously the more the better type of advice is what this is. So that's really what I didn't like about a comment she said. Is that you just need a credit card and you can just buy a house. No, that is wrong. There's more to getting a house. Outside of the credit, you need to also have the income. You need a qualified debt to income, and then housing ratio, which is pretty much housing ratio is pretty much the income is they look to see how much can you handle. So let's say if you were living in your mom, living with your parents, not mom, but with your parents, and then you never paid rent, but now you're going to a $1,500 payments. That can be very very risky to put someone that's hasn't been used to paying a mortgage or rent for them to now start paying $1,500. So that's something that gets included. Then you have your down payment and your closing costs, and if you need any reserves, which reserves are pretty much like a rainy day fund. Depending on the lender, you may need to have like a rainy day fund of like 1, 2, 3. I know when you have when you're trying to get a 4-unit house, or like 3 or duplex, triplex, or quadplex. Yeah, we should call it that. They want you to have more than 1 month of savings in your bank account. So, information was a little shaky, but it's not bad for what it is. But for more in-depth information, follow what I said. So, let's go ahead and continue. Let's see what they say.
Hey, Sarah, that was all great. I think that was wonderful. I don't disagree with anything she said.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have said I wouldn't have started with credit cards. I mean, that's because credit cards are something you need to be scared of. It's not something that I think the typical person says, what got me to $1 million? But I understand the point she was making was you need to establish credit.
Understand how to use debt.
Yep.
But remember, pay it off monthly. But I do love the fact she basically recommended index fund, saving for the future, because she respected discipline. She respected.
All right, let's see if there was anything more. I think there was. Let me see. Nope, there was nothing more. Let's move on to this. Let's move on to the next video.
Google Fi, a phone plan.
Ooh, hello, commercials. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let's see. All right, let's see what's on this one. Cash is trash. House hacking. No. Credit score. Let's see this one.
What?
Run back.
What?
One more time. Maxes out credit card, but pays it every month. Credit score drops, yes, because of credit utilization. Wait, what? Why?
What?
Don't use too much. Stay under 10% of limit. How
vibing with credit score growing.
You know, all this reading, you guys need to understand. I'm good at math.
All right, me first. Again, my video. So that's really good advice. Definitely not the worst that I've heard. So yeah, so if you're definitely trying to optimize for your credit score to increase, definitely staying under a 10% is going to maximize your utilization when it comes to your credit. So definitely good advice. Let's see here. Let's see what they're gonna say.
You know, let's watch it. Let's rewind.
This is not supposed to happen. Where I'm zoned in. Zoned in.
Maxes out credit card, credit score drops. Wait, why? Don't use too much. Stay under 10% of limit. Now vibing with credit score growing.
I see you, boy.
See, that's what. Okay, so he maxed out his credit card, hurt his credit score. Well, then he learned that I should utilize less of it, and his credit score went up. That's true. That is one of the 5 things that goes into your credit scores, your credit utilization. Don't max out your credit cards. It will hurt your credit score. And then you too can be vibing with your credit score. You got that?
I figured I was just offering the visual side while you were giving the education. That seems like that's how that video worked.
Way from now on. All right, perfect.
What school doesn't teach you.
Okay, education. Yeah, let's see. Morning routine. I don't think there was anything. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one here.
Your 401k could
here. I think it was this one right here.
Incredibly simple. It's not a hard concept. You defer money into investments over the long term, and it ends up making you a lot of money. That's the way it happens. If something is like a get rich quick or easy, the magic secret. So
do not pay off your student loan debt, and here's why. Why give all that money back to the government when you can hold on to that money, invest in real estate or some other asset that can double, triple your money? For example, take that 40 to 50 G's that you have and go buy a fixer-upper like this.
Moan.
Then after you fix it up, you go to the bank and do what's called cash out refi. So you can pull the 40 to 50 G's that you have invested in the property back out and go do it again. So you basically turn that 40 to 50 G's into a couple $100K, and you never lost the 40 to 50 G's, and you have the asset that pays you every single month.
When they do in the movie Up, when they have the dog that gets distracted by the squirrel, that was me. It's based on me. Disney actually still has to pay me a license.
You get royalties for that.
Off of that, because I mean, the first thing I thought it was a cat or something, but it was an X that shot across the screen. The only thing that gets me on that type of stuff is that if you're going to do fixer-upper real estate, why'd you go to college and get student loan debt?
Yeah, there's glimmers of truth in what he talked about how, levered money is valuable, right? If you want to do real estate or something. But you got to be pretty deep because it doesn't always work out quite as easy as he said. Oh, I just go buy a fixer-upper and I gotta fix it up, which takes capital, takes money to fix it up. And then once it does that, I'm assuming real estate values are really good, so I can do a cash out refi, which means I make my debt even larger. And then I get a really good tenant that's just gonna pay me and I don't have to worry about anything. Well, what about when that tenant goes a few months and doesn't pay you?
Give me rent.
Or what about when you're fixing it up, there's some other cost that comes in. You're gonna do the floors and there's some plumbing issues. Or what happens when at 2 o'clock in the morning someone calls you and something went wrong with the house? I get nervous when people want to pitch doing rental real estate is like this passive activity. This thing, it's so easy, follow these 3 steps and even you too can be a real estate investor. I don't know that I would concede it truly is a passive endeavor, nor an endeavor someone should do at the very beginning of their financial journey.
Hey guys, so here's something to
All right, let's see here. All right, so let's attack it from the credit side. So continue paying your debts. Again, there was not a lot of context of what he said to like don't pay the student debt and your other debts. Yes, continue paying them because again, your credit score will drop and then it'll be really hard for you to get a mortgage. So there's that. So he brought up a lot of great points, which obviously you saw it, you heard it, but also something else that he didn't bring up, he also forgot about closing costs. What about closing costs on the loan? Like you need more than 40,000 to just be able to do that. So if you're not really like if you're new to that, just know that is something that is a part of it. And then when you go for the refinance process, who knows if you're going to be able to qualify too? Because I don't know, why he's just saying that just to say it. Because again, you have to be able to qualify for a cash out refinance, or if you do a home equity loan, which is pretty much using your home as a line of credit, up to the certain value of the house, like you have to qualify for that payment. So if you can't qualify, then you put 40, 50,000 into a house, and then you can't really get the house until you sell it, type of thing. So it's really weird. And like they said, like if you know a lot about like flipping houses, then yeah, that makes sense. And it can work out, but then it also can work out. But yeah, from a credit perspective, like you may not even qualify because either your debt to income may be high, you don't have assets. Because when you have more than one house, depending on the backed mortgage institution, they require for you to have reserves, which again are a rainy day fund, in your account in order to qualify to take the money out. So there's a lot of aspects that go into it. So you have to do that. You have to qualify from an income perspective. You have to have obviously great credit. You have to have you have to have the closing costs when you go to refinance. So it's like there's a lot more that he's not saying that is just not really it's not a quick 1, 2, 3, bam, you cash out refinance and you can move on to the next property. You have to qualify. So yeah, that's wow. Interesting. I think that was the last one of